Hello guys, I am Shyma. So I'm here to talk about one of the very important concepts that you need to understand while you are in your academic fields. Now, as you can see it on the screen, it is about bibliography, references and works cited. Now, I will be giving you a very preliminary understanding of it, or a very preliminary idea of it. Okay, and basically, see, when you are writing a paper, there are some things that you need to understand and follow. So suppose even when you are in your graduation, or some people who are in their masters, okay, and so whenever you are writing a seminar paper, a research paper basically, or an assignment, okay, you need to acknowledge some of the sources, okay, that you have used while preparing your paper. Okay, so in that case you need to use these things. Okay, basically bibliography, references and works cited. Now let me tell you, bibliography is not often used. Okay, we do not use bibliography often, because bibliographies they are used mostly while preparing a thesis, or basically while preparing a book. Okay, so in the book, at the end of the book, you can often see that there are a list of works that have been referred to while preparing or while writing that book, or while writing that thesis. So in spite of that, okay, you need to understand some of the basic things about bibliography. Now see, you can just see it. Okay, I have mentioned it. Bibliography, it is nothing but a list of sources, okay, that were kind of referred while writing your research paper of any kind. Okay, now basically they are mentioned at the end of your paper. Okay, now in a way it can also happen ki you have mentioned the sources of the works that you have referred to, but you have not cited them in your referred listed. Okay, because sometimes what happens, you do not exactly write what you have actually got from the from a particular source, you can say. Okay, now in that case, that goes under the category of bibliography, because sometimes, for example, I have read about for example, Heart of Darkness. Okay, now from Heart of Darkness, I have understood the concept of colonialism and then imperialism and all, right, and also the concept of blackness and whiteness, right. Now while we understand that, okay, sometimes it may appear that I have not directly mentioned from the Heart of Darkness, but yeah, I have taken the concept of colonialism and imperialism, the way it was kind of imbibed in the text, okay, but I haven't particularly mentioned or exclusively not mentioned the text. Understood? So in that case, if you are to mention Heart of Darkness, okay, because you have not exclusively mentioned that in your paper. Okay, suppose sometimes when why I am kind of trying to say this, because sometimes what happens, for example, if I use a quotation from the text, okay, so that would be an exclusive usage of the text, right, and in that case I'll refer to the Heart of Darkness in my referencing page, or in my works cited page. Understood? But not in the bibliography, because in bibliography, whatever you have kind of referred to, okay, whatever you have taken your idea from, okay, so that goes under the category of bibliography. Now of course, bibliography, referencing or works cited, these are nothing but it's a process, or it's a way of acknowledging each and every sources that you have taken in your academic paper. Okay, now moving on, coming to the reference or works cited, why I have put a slash in between, because these are almost similar. Now often and mostly it appears that both of these are almost similar. Okay, now referencing, again, it actually allows, see, what is the purpose of referencing, or what is the purpose of work citation? See, we do that so that the readers, okay, who will read your papers, okay, they can locate the sources, okay, basically the original sources, okay, of the books, or of the materials that you have used while preparing a paper, so that they can do their further research. Understood? For example, you'll get millions of papers on Shakespeare. Now you are to write a paper on Shakespeare, okay, using your own lens, using your own perspective, but taking references from a lot of sources. Now in that case, if somebody else has written a paper on Shakespeare, so you'll take that paper and you'll try to look at it, okay, and also you'll try to go over the referencing section so that you can find some of the good books or appropriate books that you can refer to. Now if they're mentioning the referencing, okay, you'll get the exact location. You'll kind of try to search it and you'll find it. Understood? So that's for the purpose of making it easier for the readers to locate your source. Also, there's one more thing, okay, while it comes down to referencing and bibliography or works cited, it actually saves you from the concept of plagiarism. Now, plagiarism is a concept which is very common these days. Why I have used very, which is a wrong one, but yeah, just to emphasize on this, because see, this plagiarism has become so frequent nowadays because people just copy and paste it, okay, and in that way they kind of get caught. Understood? Now, if you are referring to a book, if you are referring to a concept which has been used in a book, please cite it without fail. In that way, it will not be counted in the plagiarism. Understood? So that's a personal advice. Now moving on. Now MLA 8th edition. Now see, whenever we talk about referencing and work citation, okay, you need to remember that there are a lot of techniques, styles, ways of referencing your sources. Now MLA 8th edition is one of the styles that is most commonly used in today's time, okay, and mostly they're used in writing papers in the field of humanities such as literature, language and cultural studies. Now there are some things, see, I'll make it short because time is running out. To follow some of the rules, okay, while you write a paper using or following MLA 8th edition. Now see, you can probably come up with some questions. See, MLA 8th edition, it's not mandatory that you use MLA 8th edition in case you are in the PhD, okay, because in PhD there are some regulations that you need to use that edition, this edition, okay. So in our regulation, basically we are doing PhD under the regulation of 2017, basically 17 regulation. Now in that under that regulation we need to use MLA 8th edition. Now there may be some institutions where the teacher or the professor would ask you to follow MLA 9th edition, so you need to be very prepared, okay, to write a paper following that edition. So I'll be talking about MLA 8th edition and subsequently I'll give you a rough idea about MLA 9th edition because these two are almost similar, okay. MLA 9th edition is nothing but an updated version of MLA 8th edition, okay, without having much changes in that, because if you see that you'll find that almost all of the things are similar. So I'll talk about it. Now MLA 8th edition, see, while you write a paper using MLA 8th edition, from your start to end, okay, if you are following MLA 8th edition, please follow MLA 8th edition until the end of your paper. Now, while we talk about line spacing, actually the space between two lines, okay, it should be double, it should be 2, okay. Now, font would be Times New Roman, which is a very common one, okay. It is used almost in almost all of the styles or designs. Now, size would be 12. It's again the same in almost all of the designs, all of the styles. Page numbering. While we talk about page numbering, okay, it will be at the top right hand corner, okay, with your last name followed by the number, okay. So because of the time bound, I cannot show you a proper example of it, but yeah, I can just say that at the top right hand corner, okay, you will write your name, basically the last name, okay. Of course your last name would be starting with the capital letter and then followed by the page number, okay. There would be a space in between. Now when you go for setting the page number, okay, it will automatically pop up there, okay. You just need to select the top right hand corner one, okay. Now coming back to the margin would be normal, okay, 2.54 centimeter, and in some of the laptops it might be 1 inch, okay. Moving on. Now when you follow MLA 8th edition, okay, when you go for in-text citation, now what is in-text citation? Sometimes you'll see that in between of our papers, or in between, basically in between of a specific paragraph, you need to mention a quotation or some of the lines from a book. Okay, suppose you are writing about imperialism or colonialism, okay, and you kind of are intending to mention a quotation from Heart of Darkness. So you can say ki, as for instance, okay, Conrad states, okay, and then comma, and then you will put a quotation. So just like I have mentioned here, okay, like a running blaze on a plane, okay, and you will unquote it, and then without giving full stop there, you'll bracket Conrad, okay, basically the last name of the author, and then there will be a space and then 5. Suppose the page number is 5. Actually, this quotation is taken from Heart of Darkness, where the page number is 5. So Conrad, the last name, and then 5. Understood? So that's how you put a in-text citation according to MLA 8th edition. Okay. Now coming back to coming down to, in case of two authors, okay, when you see that there are two authors and you need to go for in-text citation. So in that way, while you write a quotation, okay, suppose this particular quotation is written by two authors. So you will write the last names of both the authors, putting an end in between of the two authors. Okay, and of course, after that, you will write a number, okay, the page number, exact, authentic, and the original page number of the text. Understood? In case of three authors, it's very easy. Okay, you'll write the first author's last name, okay, and then you'll put without giving any comma, full stop, you'll just write et.al, at all. Okay, it is pronounced as at all. Understood? So I hope this much is understood. Okay, and then moving on. See, I know it's taking a bit time, but yeah, this is actually time consuming. See, I am trying to give you a rough idea and overview of it, but yet it is taking a lot of time. But yeah, I hope you will at least get your doubts clarified, okay, through this. Now, coming down to work citation, okay, basically referencing page. When you go for referencing the books or anything of that sort, okay, firstly, when there is one author, you'll put the last name, okay, and then you'll put a comma, and then you'll give first name, okay. If there is a middle name, then it will be followed by the middle name, but if there is no middle name, then of course it would be first name, and then put a full stop. After full stop, you give it the title of the book, okay, which would be italicized. If it is a book, then it will be italicized, okay, and then put a full stop, like basically put a dot, and then publisher. Basically, probably there are a lot of publishers like Oxford publication, there are Cambridge publication, there are Routledge publication, a lot of publication. There are Harper something publication, I guess I've forgotten it. So yeah, there are a lot of publications. So publication's name, and then you'll put a comma, and then you'll give the year of publication. That's it. Now, if there is a book which is edited, it will be the same, okay. Only after the title, you'll just put a comma, and then you'll put edited. For example, there are a lot of books which are edited. Suppose Hamlet is written by Shakespeare, right? But there are a lot of edited versions of Hamlet. So you will put Shakespeare's last name, then Shakespeare's first name, and then you'll put, basically, last name, comma, first. Okay. And if there is a second name, then it would be second name. Of course, after first name, okay, there won't be any comma, okay. It's, I think, by mistakenly I have just put it, okay. So last name, comma, first name, okay, and if there is any second name, it would be second name, but in between first and second name, there wouldn't be any commas, okay, and then full stop. And after the title, you'll put a comma, and then you'll write down the editor's name, because there are some books which are edited. For example, Shakespeare's Hamlet is edited by a lot of people, so it would be edited by the first name of the editor and the last name. It will be in a synchronous position, okay, just the way the name is, okay. There would be any alteration of the position of the name, and then you'll put a comma, and then edition if it is first edition, second edition, third edition. In some of the books there would be edition mentioned, but in some of the books you won't get any kind of edition, okay. And then after edition, if there is edition, then put edition, then comma, then publisher, then comma, then year. So I hope this is clear. And if there are two authors, so the last name of the first author, okay, and then comma, first name or middle name, okay, and middle name if there is one, okay. Now after that full stop, then title, okay, of course title would be italicized, then full stop, then publisher, comma, year. Understood? And if there are 3 or more authors, then just the way you'll do in the in-text citation, it would be the same here, only the details would be here. Last name of the first author, then comma, then first name of the first author, then you'll put nothing, like no comma, no full stop, you'll directly write at all. Understood? Okay, then dot, then title, then publisher, then year. Okay. Okay, if there is some typing mistake, okay, you just bear with me, okay, because I'm just trying to be a bit clarified here. Now, if there is a journal, okay, which you have actually referred to, see, citing journal is a bit different from citing book. Okay, now citing journal, like when you cite a journal, okay, the process would be same, but in the part where you write title, it would be within quotation, not in italicized version. Okay, now after that you'll write in the place of publication, you'll write the title of the journal, okay, and then you'll put a comma, then you'll put the volume, okay, exactly the way I have mentioned here. Okay, you please just look at it and then you do accordingly. Okay, now I hope these things that I have just told you are clear. Okay, and while you cite a website, okay, the author's last name would be there, then there will be comma, and then first name, okay, as usual. Okay, we have been doing the same things, and then title of the web page, okay, the page where you are referring your insights from, so you'll mention that, then you'll put a dot, and of course it will be unquoted, and then website's name, okay, then comma, then publisher. Okay, you'll find that at the end of the page, a web page, the publisher's name is written. Sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's an organization, so just write down that, then put a comma, then publication date. You'll properly get a publication date, so just publication date, just write down that, and comma, and then URL you'll just get it when you click at the beginning of the Google page. You'll just get a copied one, okay, and then from there you can just copy it and paste it. Okay, so from there you'll get the URL. Understood? Now see, I'm not going to continue with MLA 9th edition, because MLA 9th edition is exactly the same as MLA 8th edition. Okay, if there are any differences, you can find it, okay, anywhere, but these are almost same. Both of the formats are same, and these are often used. That's why I have mentioned both of this. And thank you for listening to the video, and I hope I could make you a bit clearer. Okay, and thank you once again. Good luck.